All the retirement advice, it's actually started sounding a little bit insane to me. And trust me, I'm guilty of it as well. The second somebody retires, everybody says the same thing. You gotta get out there. Stay busy, join a group, be social. Don't isolate yourself. And yes, some of that advice is well-intentioned and some of it's actually well thought out. But what if after 30 or 40 years of office politics, networking, forced small talk, conferences, school events, obligations, commute, and just all sorts of noise, well, what if you're finally tired of getting out there? And what if retirement isn't supposed to feel like another full-time social calendar? In fact, what if peace is the actual point? Welcome to the Unretired, where you're not done, but you're finally doing what you want. If this kind of retirement conversation resonates with you, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and join us here as we rethink this next chapter and what it might actually look like in the best way possible. Now, there is a version of retirement that gets sold to almost everybody, and it looks active, social, busy, constantly engaged. It includes things like pickleball cruises, volunteer lunches, clubs, travel groups, HOA events, golf leagues, and something that looks suspiciously like a lot of networking, but just in more casual clothing and better shoes. And for some people, that actually sounds pretty darn wonderful. They love the energy, they love the people, they love having something on the calendar and something to do every day. But for a lot of other people, that version of retirement feels a lot less like freedom and more like just another job, another set of commitments, another set of obligations. And this is the part we don't say out loud enough. A lot of retirees are doing things because they think they're supposed to, not because they actually enjoy them or want to do them. So they end up going to lunch, they join whatever group, they say yes to all sorts of invitations. They sit in the room and smile politely, they make conversation, and then they come home exhausted from an activity that was supposed to actually energize them. And then they wonder, what the heck is wrong with me? Maybe there is nothing wrong with you. Maybe the advice is just aimed at a different kind of person. Some people don't retire burned out from work. They retire burned out from people. Think about that for a second. If you spend your entire career as an executive, manager, salesperson, teacher, nurse, doctor, business owner, parent, caregiver, or anyone whose life was filled with constant human demands, retirement may be the first quiet time that you've had in decades. For years, your days were shaped by alarms, schedules, emails, meetings, all sorts of interruptions, expectations, emotional labor, and just a lot of noise from all the commotion and conversation. You had to be available, you had to be responsive, and you had to be on. And now, for the first time in a long time, probably for the first time in your life really, nobody needs anything you at 8:15 in the morning, or any time for that matter. And look, that's not emptiness. That may actually be an opportunity for recovery. And if you finally have a quiet morning with a coffee, a walk, a book, a workout, or just time to sit around and think or watch silly TV shows on streaming platforms, you may not want to give that away just because somebody else thinks that you should be out there and busier and doing stuff. Retirement planning is not only about money. I say that all the time on this channel. Money's just one part of the retirement equation. There's so many other things. It's also about energy, your energy. And one of the biggest mistakes that people make is designing a retirement that looks good from the outside, but actually feels terrible on the inside where it matters. And this is the huge difference between being alone and being lonely. And that's a big distinction. Being alone is very different than being lonely. Alone is a circumstance. Lonely is an emotion. Some people sit alone in a crowded room and feel completely disconnected. Other people sit quietly on a back porch with a coffee and feel deeply at peace. And here's the thing. One is not automatically healthier than the other. So the real question is not, how many people were you around today? The better question is, did your day actually nourish you and replenish you and energize you? Some retirees genuinely enjoy quiet routines, and that could be reading, gardening, the long walk, the solo travel, tinkering in the garage or on some other project around the house, listening to music, watching a documentary on one of those streaming platforms. It could be cooking, writing, working out, sitting outside, having one deep conversation instead of 5 shallow ones. And that's not laziness. That is not failure. That is not wasting retirement. For many people, that's exactly what they work for, and that's exactly what they want. And here's where this gets really personal for a lot of us. Many independent or introverted people, they spend decades adapting themselves to extroverted environments. Like I said before, offices, conferences, meetings, business dinners, social functions, neighborhood events, kid events, forced friendliness, forced enthusiasm, forced small talk. Whether you want it or not, you're just participating. You did what you had to do. You showed up, you performed, you played the part. But retirement, well, this may be the first time in your life where you finally get to stop performing and just be who you want to be and as quiet as you want to be. For some people, retirement is not losing identity. And look, identity is a thing in retirement. The loss of identity is a thing in retirement. And we talk about it on this channel a lot. But for some, it's not about losing identity. It's about finally removing a costume that people were kind of forced or required to wear, at least in their own minds. And when that costume comes off, the quiet can feel strange at first. Not bad, just unfamiliar. You may need time to just simply realize that you're not bored. You're actually just decompressing. You're not antisocial. You're selective. You're not hiding from life. You're choosing a different kind of life. Now, at this point in the conversation, let me ask you this. What is one thing that people keep telling retirees that they should or shouldn't be doing that you secretly have no interest in at all? Is it joining a club? Is it group travel, pickleball, volunteering, going out more, just whatever it is to fill your calendar? Leave a comment and tell me the honest answer. I read every one of these and literally I get hundreds, if not thousands of people reading the comments too and finding a lot of value in what you share as part of the community. Now, I want to be careful here because this can go a little bit too far. Healthy solitude is one thing. Unhealthy isolation, it's a whole other thing. Choosing quiet because it restores you is very different from withdrawing from everybody or society because you feel hopeless, afraid, or disconnected. Depression in your senior years is a real thing. Loneliness is a real thing. So isolation can become really dangerous, especially in retirement, when your old routines disappear and those casual collisions that you were forced to have made you have human contact. So the goal here is not to vanish from the world. The goal is to be honest about the kind of connection that you actually need. Maybe you don't need 10 activities a week. Maybe you just need like one lunch with one close friend. Maybe you don't need a club. Maybe you need a walking partner. Maybe you don't need group travel, but maybe you need a quiet trip with your spouse or one old friend from the past. And ultimately, maybe you don't need more people. Maybe you need better people, or more importantly, the right people at the right time. Meaning matters, energy matters, and this also matters inside a marriage or partnership as well. One spouse may want activity, travel, events, and all kinds of people and connections. But the other may want quiet mornings, space, books, projects, and fewer obligations. And here's the really key takeaway. Neither person is wrong. Everybody can have what they want when they need it as far as all this contact goes. But if you don't talk about it inside a relationship, one person's going to feel rejected and the other person might feel suffocated. So the solution here is not for one person to win. The solution is to design a retirement that gives both people, gives both of you enough of what you need. So what does that look like? Well, it starts by designing retirement around your energy and not somebody else's expectations. And that's a key point. Design it around what your own energy needs are and not around somebody else's expectations or just the expectations that you get because everybody said this is the way you should be retired. Stop measuring your life by how full your calendar is. A full calendar is not the same as a full life. Really important to remember that. The perfect day may be coffee alone, a workout, a walk, a few hours reading, a little music, dinner at home, quiet dinner, and then maybe watching the sunset or a silly movie on a streamer. That may sound like boring to somebody else, but for a lot of people, including me sometimes, it gives you a lot of peace. It's not boring because it's actually yours. Look, you don't need to justify a peaceful life to people who are uncomfortable sitting quietly with themselves. And you do not need to turn retirement into a performance just to reassure people that you're okay and you're enjoying your retirement. You can be quiet and you can be healthy. You can be alone and content. And you can be selective, yet still deeply connected. And you can say no without guilt. You can also build retirement that looks smaller on the outside, but maybe richer on the inside in exactly what you need. All right, before we wrap up, if this conversation is speaking to you, please hit the like button, subscribe to The Unretired, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss our multiple weekly videos every week. We're gonna keep exploring what it really means to build a retirement on purpose, freedom, health, money, meaning, and enough honesty to stop living by somebody else's script. All right, let me close this up by saying that maybe retirement isn't about becoming more social. Maybe for some people, it's about becoming more honest. Maybe after decades of noise, pressure, performance, and obligation, peace was the destination all along. And if your retirement is quieter than other people might expect, well, that doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It may mean you're finally doing it right.